And welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Page along with you here as we get set for tonight's broadcast. Sorry about the delay in getting on air as we had some technical difficulties with our public address system in-house here, as there will be baseball here tonight at Dunfield as the Elmira Pioneers taking on the Niagara Power, as the Niagara Power members of the NYCBL, the New York Collegiate Baseball League. And for Elmira, they were actually members of the New York Collegiate Baseball League 4 years ago. They've been members of the PGCBL for the last 3. As it'll be Brandon D'Orio getting the start for Elmira. And our game here this afternoon, as we'll get you the starting lineups for both squads. As stepping in, it'll be the leadoff hitter for the Power, the designated hitter, Ivan Acuna. As we'll also post the starting lineups for both teams here. As the first pitch is a called strike to Brandon D'Orio. For D'Orio, out of Ithaca College, his second year with Elmira, getting his first start as a Pioneer this season. This pitch is swung on, as that one's hit out towards center field, and ranging over it will be the center fielder Chris Kaluzdian to make the catch. As there's one quick out here. It's Kaluzdian moving over to center field in this game for Elmira, as TJ Dixon getting the night off. So that'll bring in the right fielder, John Trotman, for the Power. As he looks at a first pitch called strike. And now the 0-1 from D'Orio. It's going to be low. The catcher for Elmira, Drew Fisher, after getting the second game off yesterday in Elmira's doubleheaders, they were able to pick up 2 wins against the Utica Brewers. Now a 1-1 delivery from D'Orio is going to be low. Just taking a look here at Elmira defensively, as you have Zach Bellinger at first base, Taylor Skirpon at second, Derek DeLear at short, and Taylor Ahern at third base. And here comes the throw across the diamond. That's in time for the second out. And then across the outfield, as in left field for Elmira, you have John Armbrust. In center field, Chris Kaluzdian. And in right field, actually a switch here from earlier is actually in right field, it's going to be Taylor Ahern. And at third base, Joe Guarana will get the start. So the normal outfielder for Elmira, Guarana, actually will get the start in the infield. And it looks like one of the Niagara Power players actually getting something in his eye here, probably a bug. As his step up to the plate is a little delayed. As it'll be the center fielder, R.J. Waters. Then the first pitch will miss for a ball to him. So an F8 and a ground out have led to the first 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And now a pitch is going to be fouled back here, as the count evens up at 1-1. As we are underway here from Dunfield in Elmira, New York. Then a NYCBL, PGCBL crossover matchup between the Pioneers and the Niagara Power. D'Orio sets on the mound to deliver home to the catcher, Drew Fisher. Here's the pitch, and that one swung on a chopper right to Guarana at third. Snips under his glove. The throw is still in time for the out, as Guarana was able to stay with the play after it went off his glove. And that's a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning for Brandon D'Orio. We'll take a quick break, get some more things set up, and I'll get the starting lineups out for you as we are early on here in our game at Dunfield. No score after a half inning of play, as Elmira getting set to come to the plate. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for baseball here in the bottom of the first inning at Dunfield. As Elmira was able to work a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning. As stepping in to lead things off, it will be the center fielder for Elmira, Chris Kaluzian. As he will face off against the starting pitcher, number 15, Brian Baxter for the Power. 6'2", 185 pounds out of Bryan College. His first pitch will be fouled back and out of play here by Kaluzian. And as it'll be Kaluzian, Skirpon, and Walker for Elmira here to start things off in the bottom of the first. There's the 0-1, a chopper up the middle. That's going to get through into center field for a base hit. As Chris Kaluzian will start things off as he did in Elmira's second game last night in the doubleheader against the Utica Brewers with a leadoff hit. And that will give Elmira a leadoff base runner, and it'll bring in the second baseman, number 2, Taylor Skirpon. So Skirpon getting his third consecutive start at second base after he had 4 hits between the 2 games yesterday against Utica. Runner is off for second, Kaluzian, as the catcher is unable to get the ball out of his glove. So it would have been an early stolen base for Chris Kaluzian. Skirpon finished the doubleheader yesterday, a combined 4 for 7. Not a shabby day to help the batting average. There's no runner on second and nobody out. Kaluzian leading off the bag. Here's the pitch, and that one's high and inside. So the count is actually 2-0, I believe, at the plate. Baxter sets on the mound, checks the runner at second. Now the pitch is a called strike. Elmira coming in to this game with a record of 9-6. The Niagara Power coming in with a record of 9-8. As they've played a couple more games in the NYCBL. So the count now 3 balls and a strike to the batter Skirpon with the runner Kaluzian on second after his leadoff single and a stolen base. And Baxter will step off. And here comes the 3-1 pitch, and that's going to be a called strike 2, so the count will go full. As the designated hitter, Nick Walker, waits in the on-deck circle for Elmira. Here comes the payoff pitch, and that's going to be high for ball 4. And it's a walk to the number 2 batter, Taylor Skirpon, and Elmira's got runners on first and second. So that'll bring in Nick Walker, who for the first time this season will bat in the designated hitting spot for Elmira. Up until this point has either played at second or at short, has also started a game out in left field. Runners take their leads, and Kaluzian will go back to second as he had Baxter a little unsettled on the mound. The Power, coached by Josh Reban, actually was a player a couple of years back for the Power. First pitch will miss outside for a ball here to Walker. Elmira managed by second-year manager Matt Birch. They work here in the bottom of the first inning. No score between the Pioneers and the Niagara Power. Elmira does have 2 runners on base with nobody out. And stepping up again is the pitcher Baxter. As Kaluzian doing a good job of keeping the attention of the pitcher after he stole second after a leadoff single. And the pitch home here is a called strike. Now awaiting a 1-1 pitch. Then a called strike and a nice pitch on the inner half of the plate from Brian Baxter. Power defensively play inning in front of the runner at first, playing halfway at third. Here's the 1-2, and that one's going to miss outside. Power trying to get Walker to wave at that one, but he held off. Kaluzdian almost falls as he tries to jockey off. And a breaking ball is going to be called for strike 3. And that will be the first out as Nick Walker is set down on strikes. So that'll bring in the Pioneers' first baseman, Zach Bellinger, out of St. Rose. Had a 2-run home run in Elmira's first game yesterday against the Utica Brewers. As Bellinger had one of 2 home runs for Elmira, as the other home run came off the bat of Chris Kaluzdian, a 2-run home run. So Elmira was able to win Game 1 by an 8-0 score. Here's the first pitch to Bellinger as he follows that one back. Elmira's picked up a 1-0 win in the second game. Pioneers assistant coach Brian Hill manning the third base coaching box in this game here today. Archie McNeilis over at first base. Runners laid off first and second. Here's the pitch, and that one again fouled back as back-to-back breaking balls from the right-hander Brian Baxter. No score here between the Pioneers and the Power as we work in the bottom of the first inning. Brendan DeOrio worked a clean 1-2-3 top half of the first inning. The pitcher Baxter is going to step off yet again. Hasn't been able to really develop any type of fluid motion pitching after Chris Kaluzdian went to second at stolen base. It's been very stop and go for Baxter. Now the 0-2, the runners are off, and safe at third is going to be Kaluzdian as it's a double steal for Elmira after about 6 step-offs from the pitcher Brian Baxter. And now a big RBI opportunity here for Bellinger with 2 runners in scoring position and just 1 away. And here's a pitch grounded to the third baseman, and it's go off of his glove, and he can't make the throw. As Bellinger is going to be safe at first, and that brings in Elmira's first run of the game. And moving up to third behind the play is Skirpon. Elmira's got a 1-0 lead and runners on the corners. So that'll bring in Elmira's third baseman, Joe Guarana, out of Old Dominion. Getting his first start in the infield for the Pioneers. Had been in the outfield for Elmira, either between left field or right field. Mainly left field, though. First pitch coming. And there's a called strike at the plate. Runner heads for second. The runner's going to be out, but now the runner comes home. And Skirpon's going to be safe, so Elmira will trade the out at second for a run at the plate, and they've taken a 2-0 lead here against the Niagara Power in the bottom of the first inning. As the count will be 0-1 to Joe Guarana with 2 outs now in the inning. And this one will miss low and outside. And here comes the 1-1. And it's a breaking ball chopped over on the right-hand side. Second baseman fields it, throws it to first in time, and that will end the inning. But Elmira takes a 2-0 lead on the RBI single from Zach Bellinger, and then a steal of home after the runner going to second was thrown out. And we'll head to the top of the second inning as Brandon DeOrio comes back out for Elmira. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we kick off the top half of the second inning. Elmira with a 2-0 lead against the Niagara Power as they scored twice in the bottom of the first inning. Brandon DeOrio back out on the mound for the Pioneers. This is a pitch here that is going to be fouled back to the number 4 batter and the catcher, number 33, Michael Crowley. 6'3", 220 pounds, out of Huntington University. And he's going to watch one go low here. So the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. As DeOrio was able to work a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning. Pitch here's going to be popped up in the air, very catchable. Bellinger racing in for it, makes the call, and he gets the catch in foul territory. And that will be the first out. So that'll bring in the first baseman, A.J. Hammond, out of Millersville University for the Power, with 1 away. As Hammond listed as an outfielder, but this Niagara Power team with a good chunk of players either out due to injury or away from the team. And a strike here from DeOrio to start off the at-bat. And now the 0-1. Good fastball from DeOrio, but this one will miss outside. And there's DeOrio coming in to this game for Elmira, sporting a 6.75 ERA. As the pitcher swung into the shortstop. Delaire makes the throw in time for the second out. So for Brandon DeOrio, a 6.75 ERA. This is his 5th appearance, his first start. As he had thrown 8 innings, allowed 14 hits, 8 runs, 6 of those earned, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. So trying to improve his numbers here today in this start for Elmira against the Niagara Power. And he has got 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. First pitch, a breaking ball, and a slow and away. And his team's also sported him a 2-0 lead. And a good pitch here as this breaking ball a little bit higher comes in across the knees. As the count goes to 0-1. Another breaking ball. This one blooped out to right field, but there's Taylor Ahern as he makes the catch for the third out. And another 1-2-3 inning for Brandon DeOrio as he set down the first 6 batters of the ball game for the Power. And we'll head to the bottom of the second inning. Elmira sporting a 2-0 lead. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we're set to kick off the bottom of the second inning. Elmira with a 2-0 lead against the Niagara Power, as Elmira was able to score on 2 separate occasions in the bottom of the first inning. And the first on an infield RBI single by Zach Bellinger that scored Chris Kaluzian from third. And the second run on a caught stealing at second base. As the runner, Zach Bellinger, was caught stealing 2-4, but then running home from third behind the play was Taylor Skirpon, and as the Power were unable to make a throw home. So Meyer treated a run for an out. And the count is 2-0 here to the leadoff batter, Drew Fisher, the Pioneers catcher in the bottom of the second inning. As it'll be the 6, 7, and 8 batters for Elmira. Pitcher swung on by Fisher, chopped to the second baseman. And a flip in time for the first out. As the ball was fielded by Gabriel Savigny. And that will bring in the Pioneers left fielder, John Armbrust. Armbrust getting his second consecutive start as he started the second game yesterday for Elmira. On the year hitting .250, as this is his 7th game, his 6th start. 4 hits and 16 at-bats. Does have a triple and 2 RBIs to his credit. And the 0-1 will miss high for a ball. As the pitcher for Niagara, the right-hander, Brian Baxter, out of Bryan College. And a 1-1 will miss high again. The Bryan College, spelled different than Brian Baxter's first name. Baxter's first name, B-R-I-A-N, Bryan College, being spelled with a Y. Here's his 2-1 offering. That one swung on, a chop by Armbrust over to shortstop, and it gets past the shortstop's glove. And Armbrust is going to reach at first with 1 out. So that'll bring in the Pioneers right fielder, Taylor Ahern. Ahern getting the start in right field for Elmira. Has made 2 starts as a pitcher this year for Elmira, but this is his first start in the field. As Ahern out of Siena. As he will get his first ABs of the year. The first pitch to him is going to be a called strike. With the runner, Armbrust, leading off of first. Pitcher Baxter checks on first, delivers home. Here's a pitch by Ahern, blooped into left field over the shortstop's head. And now it's a one-out single for Taylor Ahern, his first hit in his first at-bat this season. And just like that, Elmira's got runners on first and second with one away. And that will bring in the Pioneers shortstop, Derek DeLear, out of Florida International. DeLear on the season batting .194. This is his 12th game, his 11th start. 7 hits for him and 36 trips to the plate. 1 double, a home run, and 7 RBIs for DeLear. A trio of Elmira players with 7 RBIs. As Zach Bellinger currently leading the team with 9 RBIs. Christian Santisteban right behind him with 8. And then 3 players on Elmira's roster with 7. DeLear one of those. As Baxter will step off and look the runner Armbrust back to second. And a pitch here at the plate is going to go for a ball. And the count is 2-0. And the throw back there. DeLear still looking at a 2-0 count here with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. And it was actually going to be a walk as the count was 3-0. So the bases will be loaded for Elmira with 1 out here in the inning after the walk. So there's been an error, a single, and now a walk to the 7, 8, and 9 batters. And it'll take things back to the top of the lineup here for Elmira as Chris Kaluzdian will step up. Kaluzdian already with a hit in the ball game. First pitch here will miss low to him as he singled, stole 2 bases, and scored a run on the RBI single by Zach Bellinger. Runners take their leads. Elmira already with a 2-0 lead. Nice breaking ball from Baxter, but that one's going to miss low for a ball. Elmira also got a run on a double steal with Zach Bellinger and Taylor Skirpon. Pitch here chopped by Kaluzdian to short. Flip to the second baseman's in time. The turn is not going to be in time as Elmira will get a run on the fielder's choice as the Power do get 1 out. As they get the runner DeLear at second. And that will bring up Taylor Skirpon, who's also scored a run. As John Armbrust comes in to score, and Taylor Ahern moved up to third on the play. And then stepping off will be the pitcher Baxter. Runners take their leads from the corners. Baxter paying a lot of attention to Kaluzdian over at first. Don't blame him. He's already got 2 stolen bases in this one. Count is 1-0 to the batter Skirpon. Here's the pitch, and that one will miss low and away. So Elmira with a run in the bottom of the second inning, and they now have a 3-0 lead. Here's the 2-0 from Baxter, and that'll miss high for a ball. As this inning has already saw an error, a single, a walk, and a fielder's choice. Just about everything you can mark down on a scorecard that happened offensively. And now a 3-0 pitch is going to miss outside, and that's another walk issued by Brian Baxter, and it will load the bases up again for Elmira. Second time that Skirpon has been walked in back-to-back at-bats. That will bring in Nick Walker Walker struck out looking his first time up, the only strikeout that Baxter has recorded in the game. He'll look to try and change that around. Elmira has a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. 2 outs, and all 3 bases occupied by Elmira runners. First pitch will miss low and away. Baxter has done a lot of pitching on the outer half of the plate early on this one to the right-handed batters for Elmira. Definitely trying to stay away. Now he brings this one over the plate, raised it up a little bit as that one came across just below the lettering on Elmira's jerseys. Elmira wearing their away blue jerseys here in this game against the Power. And wearing their home white pants. Wanted to change things up a little bit. They normally wear the white home jerseys with the white pants. Let's say Pioneers. The count now 2-1 here to Nick Walker. Runners take their leads. The pitch is swung on. That one's out to left field. This one's deep, back at the wall. And that one's off the top of the wall. Walker misses the grand slam by inches, but he's going to clear the bases on a 3 RBI double. Walker almost had the grand slam, but he missed it by inches as it hit off the top of the AT&T sign in left field. And he really hadn't gotten into his home run trot, but he almost did. As he easily pulled into second, but just like that, Elmira has now taken a 6-0 lead as it's a 4-run inning as the base is clear. And that's a nice way for Nick Walker to turn around the start to his game as he had struck out his first time up. But now he's got 3 RBIs next to his name. And a double. His pitch here is swung on by Zach Bellinger, but fouled. So Zach Bellinger, an RBI single are ready for him. As this one swung on. That one's grounded to the second baseman. A throw over and making the scoop. Nice play by the first baseman to get out of the inning. As Elmira scores 4 runs in the bottom half of the second. And they've got a 6-0 lead heading to the top of the third inning here at Dunfield. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we kick off the top of the third inning here at Dunfield. Elmira with a 6-0 lead after a 4-run bottom half of the second inning, highlighted by a 3 RBI double from Nick Walker that was inches away from being a grand slam as it hit off the top of the left field wall. As a new pitcher in here for Elmira, as Brandon DeOrio is done after 2 innings, as the new pitcher on will be number 21, Matt Horton. Horton out of Cornell. As he worked 1 inning yesterday in the doubleheader as he closed out the first game for Elmira in their 8-0 win in relief of the Pioneer starter Roberto Supa and his teammate at Cornell. And the count is 1-1 here to the number 7 batter. And wearing number 5, John Mulhern. The count now 2-1. As DeOrio had set down all 6 of the batters that he faced, worked 1, 2, 3 innings in the first and second. Pitch here is going to be fouled off, out of play over on the first base side. And now a 2-2 from the left-hander is chopped to DeLear at short. DeLear's throw scooped by Bellinger at first, and that's going to be the first out here to kick off the top of the third inning. As that'll go down as a 6-3. So that'll bring in the shortstop, number 2, Austin Yeoman. Yeoman, 5'10", 160 pounds, out of Clearwater Christian College. Steps into the right-handed batter's box. And a first pitch fastball called strike from the Ivy Leaguer, Matt Horton. And now he goes with a breaking ball. That one almost hit the batter, Yeoman. A swing here to miss, and the count is 1-2. And the 1-2 is swung on and missed here for strike 3. And that will be the second out of the inning and the first strikeout for Pioneers pitching, as DeOrio did not strike out any of the 6 batters that he faced. As that will bring in the number 9 batter, Gabriel Savigny. First pitch to him from Horton is going to be outside for a ball. So Horton coming in to this appearance. This is 6th appearance. Has a 1-0 record. No ERA. 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. It wasn't earned. Has also walked the eye and struck out now 6 batters. As he's behind the count, 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a bouncer in the dirt here, and the count quickly goes to 3-0. Horton, a pitcher that will work very fast on the mound for Elmira. He has showed that in his last 3 relief appearances that he's had. And now throws a strike here. Likes to get the ball set, rock and fire. Says no sense in wasting time on the mound. And this one's going to miss outside for ball 4. So that'll be a 2-out walk. And it'll be the first base runner of the game for the Power. And we'll take things back to the top of the lineup for the leadoff batter, Ivan Acuna. Acuna flied out to the center fielder, Kaluznian, his first time up. A strike called. There to the batter, Acuna. And another strike call, so Horton quickly ahead in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Horton checks the runner. Savigny at first, and the pitch home is swung on a chopper, foul past the third baseman, Guarana. And here's the 0-2. That one swung on towards Skirpon a second. Gets the ball, makes the throw. A nice play by Taylor Skirpon. Ranging to his left as that one was deep in the hole as he was playing towards second. And he makes a nice play to end the inning. So the Power get their first base runner on, but he gets stranded after the 4-3 putout ends the inning. As we've played 2.5 innings here at Dunn Field, Elmira a 6-0 lead against the Niagara Power. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And Joe Guarana will lead off the bottom of the third inning here for Elmira. As Elmira sporting a 6-0 lead. As back out is Brian Baxter for the power. Grounder here to the second baseman. And a throw to first in time. Nice glove there by Savigny. Second time he's made a nice play at second. So that'll bring in the Pioneers catcher, Drew Fisher. 0 for 1 in the afternoon. A ground out to the second baseman, Savigny. Fisher out of USC upstate is going to swing at the first pitch right towards the second baseman, Savigny. He'll again, ranging to his right this time, has to make an athletic throw. So between Guarana and Fisher, that's the fourth time that the two have grounded to Savigny at short as they've kept him busy. And 2 quick outs for Brian Baxter here to kick off the bottom of the third inning after Elmira had scored twice in the bottom of the first and 4 times in the bottom of the second to take a 6-0 lead. And John Armbrust will step in. The left fielder for Elmira watches a first pitch called strike. Now an 0-1 coming from Baxter. As this one was way off course where it was supposed to go, as I believe Baxter lost some of his footing on the mound there, as Armbrust had to turn out of the way as that one went towards his head. Armbrust reached on an E6 in the second inning and scored. As this one was low in the dirt, so they count 2 balls and a strike. Armbrust hitting .250 on the year before his first at-bat coming into the day. 4 for 16 with a triple and 2 RBIs. As this one's hit out to left field, but ranging back for it and making the catch is going to be the left fielder Mulhern, and that will end the bottom of the third inning. So it's the first 1-2-3 inning for the Power and their starter Brian Baxter. As we've played 3 full here at Dunn Field, the Pioneers with a 6-0 lead against the Niagara Power heading to the top of the 4th inning. We'll take a break. Go listen to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. Man, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Elmira with another new pitcher is just a short 1-inning relief appearance for Matt Horton, as Elmira's new pitcher will be Anthony Ciengo. Ciengo out of Northern Illinois will start off the top of the 4th inning as this pitch was inside and over the head of the number 2 batter, Jack Trotman. Trotman 0 for 1 in the game. Ciengo's 1-0 will be a little bit inside for a ball. Ciengo on the air. This is his 3rd appearance. Has thrown just 2 innings. trying to get some work in here against the Niagara Power. His second year on the Pioneers roster as the 2-0 pitch was inside to Trotman for a ball. So the count 3-0. So DeOrio started the game for Elmira, went the first 2 innings. Horton came in for the third, and now Ciengo in for the 4th inning. And the 3-0 will catch the plate for a strike. As it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 batters for Niagara in the 4th. Here's the 3-1, and that'll be high for ball 4. As that'll be a leadoff walk to Trotman, and that will bring in the center fielder, R.J. Waters. As Waters 0 for 1 on the afternoon, a ground out to the third baseman, Joe Guarana, back in the 1st inning. As the walk to Trotman gives Niagara their second base runner of their game, both reaching via the walk. Their last base runner came in the 3rd inning. As before the walk, Elmira had set down the first 8 batters for the Power via mainly ground outs to the third baseman, Joe Guarana. The count now 1-0 to the batter, Waters. And the pitch is inside. And Drew Fisher going to go out and have a talk with Ciengo after he walked the leadoff batter, Trotman, on 5 pitches. In the on-deck circle, to the catcher, number 33, Michael Crowley. Elmira with a 6-0 lead against the Niagara Power as we work here in the top of the 4th inning from Dunfield. An NYCBL, PGCBL crossover for these 2 teams. Old members in the NYCBL. And a 2-0 pitch just going to miss here on the outer half of the plate. So the count goes to 3-0. The Niagara Power play their home games at Sale Magley Stadium up in Niagara Falls. Now a 3-0 pitch here, as that one's a called strike. Pulling the bat back was Waters. Waters trying to move the runner over to second here if he can. If he should hit it over third base way. Joe Guarana ready for it, but now a throw over here. As the runner, Trotman, back safely. And here comes the 3-1. That's a called strike. Nice pitch there from Ciengo as he paints the inside part of the plate. And good righty-righty matchup here for Ciengo as he checks the runner. Trotman leading out first. Here's the 3-2. The runner is off. The pitch is swung on and missed. The throw down to second by Fisher won't be in time as he had a little bit of a late throw. So Elmira gets the out at the plate, but it kind of works out how a sacrifice would, as the Power do get a runner in scoring position at second base. And that will bring in the catcher, Crowley, with 1 out here in the inning. Ciengo checks the runner at second. The pitch home. And is going to miss just a bit high for ball number 1. And the pitch from Ciengo looked to be good on the inner half of the plate, but was a little high. The runner out in second. Trotman leads off. And a called strike at the plate as he'll head back. Reached on a leadoff walk and then headed down to second after the strikeout by Waters. And here's a pitch swung on, popped up high in the air. Bellinger selling under it. Didn't even really have to move. from where he was standing at first, and that will be the second out. That'll bring up the first baseman, number 13, A.J. Hammond. Hammond will step into the left-handed batter's box. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup here between Ciengo and Hammond. Ciengo checks the runner. Now the pitch is going to be low and outside. Elmira with a 6-0 lead. 6 runs on 4 hits. And as we've played 3 full innings here at Dunfield, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning for the Niagara Power. And the 1-0 is going to be swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Fisher as the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 3 of Elmira's runs coming off a 3 RBI double from the Pioneers' designated hitter Nick Walker, who missed a grand slam by inches out to left field as it hit off of the top of the AT&T sign. As the fence here at Dunfield from center field over to left extended up to 28 feet high from when the Pioneers used to be affiliated with the Boston Red Sox to mimic, at the time, the Green Monster in left field. In right field, the fence is just a little bit lower. Now a runner going for third here as Fisher threw down to third, but the throw was a little off as Guarana was unable to glove it, so it'll be a stolen base for the runner Trotman. As now the Power with a runner just 90 feet away from home plate with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. And the 3-1 is going to be chopped foul over towards the Pioneers' dugout. The count will go full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the first baseman, Hammond, he awaits the pitch from Anthony Ciengo. And here's the delivery, and that'll be outside for ball 4. So it'll be a 2-out walk, the second of the inning issued by Ciengo. And then we'll put runners on the corners for the Power. And that'll bring in the third baseman, Tyler Marcinko. Marcinko, 5'9", 170 pounds, out of Piedmont College. As Marcinko flew out to the right fielder, Taylor Ahern, his first time up. Came into the game hitting .270 on the year. 10 hits and 37 at-bats. 2 doubles and an RBI, also 9 walks. To 4 strikeouts. As a first pitch strike here from Ciengo. Runners on the corners for the Power. The 0-1. And he's going to miss just high on the outer half of the plate. The runner on third is Trotman. He drew a walk to lead off the inning and stole second and stole third. And a walk to Hammond as he takes off for second. No throw from the catcher, Fisher, as he was more worried about trying to get the strike called at the plate, but was unable to. So the count 2-1. And first base open. Runners lead off of second and third. There's the pitch, and that's a called strike as it's now 2-2. Ciengo trying to get out of the inning here for Elmira. The 2-2 is going to be outside as that one was blown away. Try to get a swing from the batter, Marcinko. Count now full again. Ciengo needing just one pitch to keep another 0 up on the scoreboard for Elmira. Here's the 3-2, and it's going to be behind the batter. It's ball 4, and a runner is going to come home. As the runner, Trotman, will score from third. As it's now a 6-1 ball game. And the new batter for the Power will be the left fielder, number 5, John Mulhern, out of Regis University, 5'7", 180 pounds. Mulhern grounded out to the shortstop, Derek DeLear, to start off the third inning, as that was the first batter that Matt Horton faced. Runners on the corners again here for the Power. Trailing Elmira now by 5 as it's a 6-1 ball game. They have a run in. And the runner's off for second. Here's the pitch. And it's going to be a strike at the plate as no throw from Drew Fisher. As the Power have put on their running shoes here in this fourth inning, as that's their fourth stolen base of the inning. Pitch here is popped up. Skirpon engaging it at second, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So Anthony Ciengo gets out of the inning, allowing just one run. He'll strand 2 runners on base, and Elmira takes a 6-1 lead to the bottom of the fourth inning here at Dunn Field. We'll take a break. When we come back, Elmira will have their 8, 9, and 1 batters at the plate to kick off the bottom of the fourth. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as Taylor Ahern kicks off the inning here, and he hits a pop fly up to the center fielder, Waters, to kick off the bottom of the fourth inning. As it's a beautiful day here at the ballpark. Not a lot of wind outside of the press box as the flag out in center field sitting straight down, but as blue skies, not too humid. The sun is out, and the fans have turned out here to Dunn Field for this Sunday afternoon contest between the Pioneers and the Niagara Power. As the batter, now the shortstop, Derek DeLear for Elmira with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Elmira a 6-1 lead against the Power. As a 1-0 fastball called for a strike. Brian Baxter back out for the Power, as he was able to calm down in the third inning after he was a little shaky through the first 2 innings. He actually worked a 1-2-3 inning in the third. And now is ahead of the count of ball and 2 strikes here to DeLear. And the pitch is going to be grounded by DeLear to the shortstop, Yeoman, and he's going to eat his throw. Don't know what Yeoman was thinking there looked like he had plenty of time to get that throw across the diamond, but he decided to hold on to it. So Elmira will have a one-out base runner. Yeah, stepping in, it'll be the leadoff batter, Chris Kaluzdian. He's been on base twice in the game. A single, also reached on a fielder's choice, and has scored twice. Also has got 2 stolen bases already, to his credit. Kaluzdian came in to the game batting .309, which was good for third on the Pioneers. This is 15th game. 17 for 55. 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and 7 RBIs. Also 4 for 5 in the stolen base category. Well, you can add 2 to that, as he's stolen twice today. Successful 2 for 2. Here's the 0-1 to him. That's grounded over towards the second baseman, Savigny. He'll have to go to first as he gets to the out, and that moves the runner, DeLear, up to second. And that'll be the second out of the inning. That'll bring in Taylor Skirpon. And Skirpon's first pitch will miss low for a ball. Skirpon has also been on base twice today. He's walked both times and scored 2 runs. Runner DeLear leads off second. The pitch is going to be high for a ball. As the count is 2-0. And now the 2-0 pitch will be outside, so the count is 3-0. Runner leads off second. That's DeLear. The pitch home is going to be outside for ball 4. So it'll be a 2-out walk issued to Skirpon, as he's done a great job seeing pitches to start off this game. 3 times up to the plate and 3 walks. Can't complain about that, as he has seen a lot of pitches from Brian Baxter. So to give runners on first and second for Nick Walker here after clearing the bases his last time up with a 3 RBI double. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. As he watches this fastball across the plate for a strike. As he struck out his first time, but turned his afternoon around early in his second at bat. As this one will miss low and inside. Elmira with a 6-1 lead. 2 runs in the bottom of the first, 4 in the bottom of the second. As stepping off his Baxter, heading back for second was DeLear. As he was kind of fumbling and stumbling back into second, but nobody was covering for the power. Now a 1-1 as Baxter again going to step off. Baxter's been very tentative of the base runners here for Elmira in this game, as early in the first inning it was Chris Kaluzdian on second that gave a lot of fits to the pitcher Baxter. Now for the 3rd straight time he steps off here and looks the runner DeLear back at second. The count 1-1 to Nick Walker at the plate with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch is maybe going to be a strike, maybe a ball, kind of a half strike signal from the umpire, but I guess it's going to be a ball. So 2-1 the count. And the runners are off. Here's the pitch. It's high. The throw is going to be off of the 3rd baseman, Marchenko. So it'll be 2 stolen bases for Elmira, as DeLear was off for 3rd and Skirpon followed right behind him for 2nd. And the count is 2-1 to Nick Walker. See if he can keep his bat going. A good RBI opportunity for him. And here's the pitch, and that's a called strike 2. As Walker Thought maybe that one was a ball. So the count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the inning. And the pitch is going to be fouled off of the catcher as the at-bat stays alive. Elmira on third. Skirpon on second. And here's the payoff pitch again. And that's outside for ball 4. So Nick Walker is going to reach base to load him. The back-to-back walk issued by Brian Baxter. So that'll bring in the Pioneers' first baseman, Zach Bellinger. Bellinger 1 for 2 in the game. He's got an RBI single. That came back in the first inning. And here's the pitch to him as that one was swung at and fouled back to the backstop. The fastball was up in the zone. Bellinger, a 2-run home run in the first of the 2 games Elmira played yesterday against the Utica Brewers. Here's the 0-1. As he swung at and missed that one. It's Bellinger from the left-handed batter's box working against the righty, Baxter. And now an 0-2 is swung on. That one's down the left field line. Ranging in the left fielder in the sun is able to make the catch in foul territory as the Pioneers will leave him loaded on the F7. And we will head to the top of the 5th inning after 4 innings of play here at Dunfield. Elmira with a 6-1 lead against the Niagara Power. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as a new pitcher on for the Pioneers here to kick off the top of the 5th inning, as it will be the tall right-hander Austin Von Herbulis out of Skagit Valley. Von Herbulis now delivers his 1-0. There's a big fastball for a swing and a miss to the leadoff batter, Yeoman. He's 0 for 1 in the game with a strikeout. Von Herbulis on the air, a 6.23 ERA, as this will be his 5th appearance. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 of those earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. As he has a 2-1 count here to the batter, Yeoman, as this one's popped out to right field, down the right field line in foul territory, as Taylor Skirpon laid out for it and tried to get it, but he was unable to. So that one will fall harmlessly for strike number 2. As Von Herbulis, listed at 6'7", out of Sedro-Woolley, Washington, a freshman at Skagit Valley. The second player over the last couple of years that Elmira has gotten from Skagit Valley. As 3 years ago, Elmira had a pitcher in the name of Jimmy Reed that came out of Skagit Valley after his summer with Elmira, transferred to the University of Central Florida, also known as UCF, and went on to be the closer in his senior year for UCF. Now working for the Tampa Bay Rays. As a throw to first here, as Von Herbulis did end up hitting the leadoff batter, Yeoman, who stands on first, as now the number 9 batter, Savigny, stands in. He walked in his only at-bat back in the 3rd inning against Matt Horton. As Von Herbulis, the 4th pitcher of the game for Elmira, as they lead this one 6-1 here in the top of the 5th inning. As the batter, Savigny, looked like he was going to bunt, but that pitch was high and outside to the catcher, Drew Fisher. No outs here for the Niagara Power. They have a runner on first after the hit by pitch kicked things off. Now Von Herbulis delivers home. The bunt laid down, but that one's going to trickle foul. So having to head back will be Savigny, as he was motoring down the first base line. The count will be a ball and 2 strikes. Elmira got all 6 of their runs in the first 2 innings. 2 in the bottom of the first and 4 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Von Herbulis will check the runner at first, now delivers home. A breaking ball, nice pitch, and that's going to be a called 3rd strike. As Von Herbulis pulls the wire on Savigny after he went fastball, fastball, fastball. And that will be the first out, and now the leadoff batter, Acuna, will step in. Acuna, the designated hitter, 0 for 2. Not in the afternoon. A fly out and a ground out. As that is the 3rd strikeout in the afternoon for Pioneers pitching. This one blooped out to left field. Ranging in, the left fielder, and not able to make the catch, is going to be the left fielder, Armbrust, for Elmira. As Kaluzdian out in center field, not in left field. Armbrust gave it a good run as he had a range in from about mid-left center as he was actually playing off of the line. Elmira, a little shift in their outfielders to the right. The count will be 0-1 to the batter, Acuna. Runner leads off of first as this pitch is low and away. And a throw over is the runner, Yeoman, back safely. Taking a look at the stats for Yeoman as the pitch here has popped up. This one again over on the 3rd base side. It looks like Guarana, though, settled under it, and he's able to make the catch. And that will be the second out as the runner, Yeoman, retreats back to first. Those 2 outs, that'll bring the right fielder, Trotman, who has scored the only run of the game for the Power, as he was walked, stole second, stole third, and then scored on a wild pitch by Anthony Ciengo. First pitch will be outside here to Trotman, as he also was grounded out in this one back in the first inning. Had a grounder to the third baseman, Guarana. For the base runner, Yeoman, he heads down to second, and he's going to be in there safely. As I was just getting to Yeoman and looking at his stolen base category, as he had been 0 for 1, just one stolen base attempt, and he had got caught stealing, but he will now be 1 for 2. And the 2-0 is going to be laced foul down the first baseline, as that one went over towards the field tarp, just outside of the bullpen for Elmira. So the count will be 2 balls and a strike with 2 outs to the batter Trotman. Here in the top of the 5th inning, runner leads off of second. That's Yeoman. And the pitch is swung on off of the foot of Von Herbulis, and that's going to go through the hole past the shortstop DeLear, and that's going to allow the runner to go home, as that one took a weird carom off of the pitcher Von Herbulis. As he looks to be okay. And it was a bad break for Elmira. Really can't blame anybody there, as it bounded off, I believe it was the inside part of the foot of Von Herbulis on the mound, as it was hit right back at him. And then it bounded past the shortstop DeLear, who was heading towards second. So that allows the runner Yeoman to score. And it's now a 6-2 ball game. As the first pitch strike called here to the batter Waters. Waters 0 for 2 in the game, a strikeout and a ground out. And now the 0-1 will miss, and the count even at the ball and a strike. Now we throw over to first here. And the pitch is swung on in the hit and run, as heading for third is going to be Trotman, as that one goes into right field. As Skirpon made his initial move towards second base, and that went right into the hole vacated by Taylor Skirpon. So back-to-back hits for Trotman and Waters have given the Power runners on the corners here with 2 outs. In the top of the 5th inning, they do have a run home. And here's the pitch from Von Herbulis. That'll miss high for a ball. And this one will miss low, so they count 2 balls and no strikes. With 2 outs in the inning, the pitch from Von Herbulis is going to miss high, and the count 3-0. And here's a 3-0. That's a fastball. It'll catch the outside part of the plate. And as Von Herbulis gets back into the count here, now he'll try to take it full. Runner leads off first. He's heading for second. The pitch is a chopper to DeLear at short. He gloves it, makes the throw, and Bellinger can't get the scoop. A run's going to score. Now they're going to send a second runner. Here's the throw home, and the runner is going to be out. So a nice way to end the inning for Elmira, as they do allow 1 run, but the second runner, which was Waters, is going to be tagged out at the plate on the nice throw from Bellinger. So it'll be a 6-3 score heading to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Dunfield, as Elmira will have their 4, 5, and 6 batters due up here with a 3-run lead. As we'll take a break, you're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And the bottom of the 5th inning underway here at Dunfield. Doug Page along with you from Dunfield, as the Pioneers taking on the Niagara Power. Elmira with a 6-3 lead, as Niagara has gotten their 3 runs over the last 2 innings, 1 in the top of the 4th, 2 in the top of the 5th. As a pitch here swung on and missed by Joe Guarana, leading things off. Guarana getting the start at third base for Elmira, has grounded out twice to the second baseman, Savigny. And now this one's in the dirt. And the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. As it'll be Guarana, Fisher, and Armbrust. Here's the pitch from Brian Baxter. That one's fouled back and into the netting behind home plate. So the count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just one pitcher thus far for the Niagara Power. And Baxter in his 3-2 is outside, and that's a leadoff walk to Guarana, as he reaches base for the first time in the game, and that'll bring up Drew Fisher, who's also grounded out twice to the second baseman, Savigny. As Elmira, in contrast to the Power, have used 4 pitchers here through the first 5 innings. As a pitch high and outside to the batter, Fisher, and the catcher, Crowley, going to go out and have a chat with Baxter. As the starter, Brandon DeOrio, went 2 innings. And then Matt Horton came in for an inning, and then Anthony Ciengo for an inning, and then Austin Von Herbulis worked that top of the 5th inning. So we'll see if he comes back out for the top of the 6th, or if it'll be another new pitcher for Elmira. And a swing and a miss here on a 1-0 pitch will even the count up to Drew Fisher. And a throw over as the runner Guarana back safely for Joe Guarana on the year. has yet to attempt a stolen base since joining Elmira, as this is the 11th game that he has seen action in. And another quick throw over as he's back safely. As Elmira is a team this year, 35 for 41 in stolen bases, as they are led by T.J. Dixon, who's 8 for 9. Opponents coming into this game just 16 of 24 in the stolen base category, but Niagara has been very efficient at stealing bases today, as there has not been a runner caught stealing in this game. As there has been 5 stolen bases for the Power through their first 5 innings. Now the pitch home from Baxter is swung on by Fisher out to left field. This one's going to drop in front of the left fielder as it goes off his glove now. Fisher will head for second as the throw goes to third. And Guarana's in safely. And Elmira is going to have runners on second and third and nobody out. As that will bring in the left fielder, John Armbrust. So Drew Fisher joins in the hit column. As that'll be Elmira's 6th hit of the ball game. And the first pitch is a called strike to John Armbrust, who's been on base once. Reached on an E6 in the second inning and scored. Also flew out to the left fielder. And this one is swung by Armbrust. That one's out to center. This should get a run in. Guarana tags after the catch. Here comes the throw, as it's not going to be in time, as Guarana is going to score on the sacrifice fly by John Armbrust. And Elmira is going to take a 7-3 lead. As that will bring in Taylor Ahern. He was 1 for 2 in the game, a single and a fly out to the center fielder. As behind the play, Fisher was not able to move up, so he stands at second. Breaking ball in the dirt here. Now Fisher going for third, and Fisher is going to be out, trying to move up a base as the ball was in the dirt to the catcher, Crowley, and Fisher had already started, so he continued to go. So that erases the base runner for Elmira, as it'll go down as a caught stealing 2-5. So now 2 outs and the bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch home to Ahern as he pops this one up in the air. Center fielder Waters ranging under, and he makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. But Elmira tacks on a run to take a 7-3 lead after the sacrifice fly from John Armbrust, as it scores Joe Guarana. And we've played 5 full here at Dunn Field. 7-3 Elmira. We'll take a break. We come back. We'll see if a new pitcher comes on for the Pioneers. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as a new pitcher indeed is on for Elmira to kick off the top of the 6th inning, as Austin Hill will be the new pitcher for Elmira. Hill, a sophomore at Ithaca out of Big Flats, New York, 6 foot, 180 pounds. As Hill will make his 4th appearance of the year, a 6.0 ERA, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits. He has allowed 2 runs, both of them earned 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, as he will step in to face the catcher, Crowley. Excuse me, it'll actually be the first baseman, Hammond, as Crowley reached on the air by the shortstop, DeLear, but then in the same play, the runner, Waters, was thrown out at the plate on a throw by Bellinger after he was able to pick the ball up as it rolled past him. Now the pitch here is going to be lined into right field. That one's going to get past Ahern. It gets to the wall. Heading to second is going to be Hammond, and they're going to hold him there with a leadoff double. And it'll be the 4th hit of the ball game for the Niagara Power. As that will bring in the 3rd baseman, Marcinko. As the Power were able to get their first 2 hits of the ball game in the 5th inning on back-to-back singles from Trotman and Waters. Now find themselves with a leadoff double. And Marcinko awaits the first pitch from Hill. And he lays down a bunt. This one's going to stay fair as Bellinger will tag the runner out at first. And now they'll move the runner, Hammond, over to third. So it'll bring in the left fielder, Mulhern, with 1 away and a runner on third. Mulhern 0 for 2 in the game. And the pitch from Hill is going to be bouncing the dirt, but a nice job by the catcher, Drew Fisher, to keep it in front of him. The runner, Hammond, leads off of third after the leadoff double, and then moving over on the sacrifice bunt. So the count 1-1 here to the batter, Mulhern. With 1 out in the top of the 6th inning. Austin Hill into pitch now for Elmira. His delivery here is going to be in the dirt. Gets by the catcher, Fisher, but the runner, Hammond, had already headed back to third as he thought the catcher, Fisher, was going to hold on to the ball. So Elmira will avoid the scoring potential there for the Niagara Power, as it'll be a 2-1 count while the runner's still on third. And now the 2-1 is outside, and the count 3 balls and a strike. The batter, Yeoman, in the on-deck circle for the Niagara Power. Elmira leading 7-3 here in the top of the 6th inning from Dunfield. And the pitch is going to be outside for ball 4, so that'll put runners on the corners here for the Power, but it'll set up a potential double play ball if Hill can get a grounder. And Yeoman steps in as he is 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Struck out back in the 3rd inning, also was hit by a pitch and scored in the 2-run top half of the 5th inning for Niagara. First pitch is going to be outside for a ball. And this one will be in the dirt, and it'll be a stolen base for the runner, Mulhern. As that time, Fisher threw down to second, and the runner held at third. So now it'll be runners on second and third with one away here in the top of the sixth inning, as that takes away the potential for a conventional double play. Hill delivers the pitch home, as this one's a called strike. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. And a swing and a miss here. And a pitch from Hill. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hill checks the runner at third. That's Hammond. Now delivers home. This one is swung on and fouled over into the Niagara Power dugout, as that got the teammates jumping from the Niagara Power side. As their shortstop Yeoman hit one their way. Elmira a 7-3 lead after they scored 1 in the bottom of the fifth to answer 2 in the top half of the inning from the Power. As they scored on a sac fly from John Armbrust. And now Hill and Fisher not able to get on the same page, so that'll allow the batter Yeoman to step out. Take a break, and he'll step back in. And a swing and a miss here on the fastball, and that's a strikeout for Austin Hill, as the batter Yeoman has set down for the second time tonight via the K, and that will bring up the number 9 batter, Savigny. Savigny also 0 for 1 with a strikeout, has reached on a walk. And the first pitch is a called strike to Savigny. Austin Hill, the 5th pitcher of the night for Elmira. And a good breaking ball here from Hill, as that one is able to cross the plate for strike number 2. So Hill now quickly ahead in the count, 0 balls and 2 strikes, with 2 runners on base here for the Power at second and third after a leadoff double and a walk. Hill sets and his 0-2 delivery is swung on a chopper to third. Verona gloves it. He's going to have to make the throw across the diamond, and he's able to power it and beat the runner, Savigny, at first. And a great job by Austin Hill working around a leadoff double and then a walk to Mulhern. And he puts up a 0 as Elmira holds on to their 7-3 lead, heading to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Dunn Field. We'll take a break. When we come back, Elmira brings their bats to the plate as their 9-1-2 batters due up. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. Land will kick off the bottom half of the 6th inning here from Dunfield. Elmira with a 7-3 lead against the Niagara Power. Elmira 2 runs in the bottom of the first, 4 runs in the bottom of the second, and 1 run in the bottom of the 5th inning. There's 7 runs highlighted by a 3-run double off the bat of Nick Walker. And DeLear steps in to lead off the inning against the starter Brian Baxter for the Niagara Power, who's come back out. As Baxter has worked through 5 innings and weaved his way around 6 hits and 7 runs. As he struck out 1 batter on the afternoon. That was to Walker, his very first time up. And now a 1-1 pitch is going to miss high here, as the count is 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch is swung on by DeLear out to right field, ranging back the right fielder Trotman. Now on the run over the head catch as he brings that one in, and that will be the first out, as they definitely didn't make it look easy. And as DeLear rounded first hard, like he thought maybe he had a base hit. So that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Chris Kaluzdian for Elmira. Kaluzdian 1 for 2 on the afternoon. A single and a ground out to the second baseman, Savigny. Also reached on the fielder's choice. He scored 2 runs in the game and stolen 2 bases. And the pitch is swung on to the shortstop, Yeoman. It's going to be by him. And Kaluzdian is going to be on base with 1 out here. So that'll bring in Taylor Skirpon. As Elmira now with 7 hits in the ball game. As Skirpon will step in. He's been walked all 3 times he's come to the plate. And he swings here at the first pitch and skies it in the air. The third baseman, Marchenko, settles under it and is able to make the catch. And that'll be the second out as Kaluzdian has to hold. So Skirpon had walked all 3 times and had scored 2 runs. But now registers his first official plate appearance with the P5. That'll bring in Nick Walker. 1 for 2 on the afternoon of the walk. The runner's off for second. The pitch was a ball. The throw is going to be off the line as that one tailed over towards the second base side of the bag. And for Kaluzdian, that'll be his 3rd stolen base of the afternoon. As early on in this one, it has not been an afternoon to want to be a catcher. As Elmira with 6 stolen bases against the catcher Crowley. And for the Power, they also have 6 stolen bases against Drew Fisher. So combined 12 stolen bases between the 2 teams. And overall, looking, the base runners trying to steal are a combined 12 for 14. Now a 2-0 pitch is swung at and missed. A breaking ball from Baxter as he caught Walker off guard. Walker looking like he wasn't expecting a change of speed there. The count 2-1, 2 outs, and the runner Kaluzdian on second. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Elmira a 7-3 lead. And the pitch from Baxter swung on down the left field line, but this one is going to tail foul. As Walker gave that one a ride. But he couldn't get it to stay fair. The pitcher, Baxter, sets on the mound. Gives a look to the runner at second and now delivers home the 2-2, and that one's fouled off as Walker just got a piece of it. As now Walker has to tie one of his cleats here. Right now it looks like he's good to go. Elmira trying to keep the inning alive here. Zach Bellinger in the on-deck circle. Baxter, a couple looks back to second, now throws home, and this one is a breaking ball. It didn't look like it had much speed to it, but Walker could not hold off on the play as he offered at it and kept the at-bat alive. Try another 2-2 here. Baxter delivers to Walker, and this one is again fouled back out of play. The third straight ball that Walker has hit out of play. And a 2-2 count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Elmira leading the Niagara Power 7-3. Baxter sets, checks the runner, and delivers home. And that one's going to be hit into left field. This one might drop in. And the run, a nice sliding catch by the left fielder, Mulhern, as that one seemed to hang up forever in the air. As Elmira will strand a runner on second as that ends the inning. And we've played 6 full at Dunn Field. And Elmira a 7-3 lead against the Power. We'll take a break. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as manager Matt Birch will follow suit with his pitching changes, and a new pitcher enters for Elmira as Zach Biken is the new pitcher of record here for Elmira, as he becomes the 6th pitcher to come out onto the mound. Biken out of the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford, his second stint with Elmira. Biken on the year, a 6.43 ERA, has a 0-1 record. And this will be his 5th appearance, 7 innings pitched, 10 hits, 5 runs, 5 of them earned, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts. As the first pitch here will miss outside for a ball to the leadoff batter, Ivan Acuna. And now a shot right here to the third baseman, Joe Guarana. He makes the throw across the diamond in time as Guarana perfectly positioned to snag that ball. And it's a quick 2-pitch out to start off the top of the 7th inning for Zach Biken. And that'll bring in the right fielder, For the Power, Jack Trotman. First pitch here will miss outside for a ball. Trotman 1 for 2 on the afternoon. A single and a run scored in the fifth. Grounded out in the first inning and walked and came around to score in the fourth inning. As this one going to be called foul. As Guarana picked it up just as it crossed into foul territory. Lucky so that he did, because I believe the runner, Trotman, would have been safe at first, as he was already probably 2 steps away from touching the bag. So the count will go to a ball and a strike with 1 out here in the inning. Then the left-handed Bikin delivers the 1-1, and that one's going to be fouled back and out of play. So the only pitcher for Elmira to go more than 1 inning, and this one was the starter, Brandon DeOrio, who went the first 2 innings and retired all 6 of the batters that he faced. Now a 1-2 from Bikin. There's a breaking ball, swung towards second. Skirpon gloves it, makes the throw from his knees in time for the out. What a play by Taylor Skirpon. As that'll get the crowd going here at Dunn Field, and there's 2 away in the inning. Skirpon really an exciting player to watch out in the field for Elmira. Skirpon out of Penn State was featured on ESPN as he helped the Nittany Lions to turn 2 triple plays, yes, 2 triple plays in 1 game. As that was just the second time in the history of college baseball that 2 triple plays had been turned in a game, as now Bikin is going to hit the batter Waters. Here to give a 2-out base runner for the Power. So that'll bring up the catcher, and I believe we will have a pinch hitter here for the starting catcher, Michael Crowley. And indeed we will, as the new batter will be number 47, Hunter Bingham. 6 foot, 185 pounds, a right-handed batter out of William Jewell College. After Crowley had went 0 for 2, where the pop-up to the first baseman, Zach Bellinger, twice, and then he reached on an E6 in the 5th inning. And the count here, 0-1 to the batter, Bingham. And now the 0-1 is fouled over towards the Pioneers dugout, as that sent the Bat Boys scattering. So the count will be no balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. A base runner on for the Power, as the left-handed throwing Bikin staring right at the runner as he goes to second. The throw, Fisher's down to second, and the runner is going to be in safe, as that is Waters, as he was looking right into the eyes of the pitcher, Zach Bikin. And Waters will pick up his first stolen base of the afternoon. Count 1-2 to the batter, Bingham. And the pitch is swung on here right to Guarana at third. Makes the curl across the diamond, and Bellinger fields it for the 3rd out, as the Power will strand a runner on second. 7th inning stretch time here at Dunn Field. Elmira, a 7-3 lead against the Niagara Power. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. Man, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to kick off the bottom of the 7th inning here at Dunfield. Elmira a 7-3 lead against the Niagara Power. As it'll be a new pitcher on for Niagara as the night for Brian Baxter is over. As it'll be another right-hander, number 12, Zach Sharp. Sharp, a 6'6" right-hander, 225 pounds out of Crown College. On the year for Sharp. As this will be, according to my stats of looking right, his first appearance for the Niagara Power, at least not on the stat sheet. So we'll see what he has to bring to the table as he will face the 4, 5, and 6 batters for Elmira. Zach Bellinger leads things off. It'll be Bellinger, Guaran, and Fisher. And the pitch to Bellinger swung on. That was going to be popped up but out of play. There's the 0-1 now. Sharp sets on the mound and delivers home. As that one was foul tipped into the glove of the catcher, Hunter Bingham. As Bingham came in to replace the starting catcher, Crowley. I believe he came in defensively in the 6th inning to catch, but his spot in the lineup and the 4-hole did not come up until the 7th inning. As another pitch fouled back out of play here by Bellinger. Keeps the count in 0 balls and 2 strikes. Elmira a 7-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 7 runs on 7 hits. Also 3 runs on 3 hits for the Niagara Power. As this pitch was way off the mark. As that one actually hit in the grass in front of the dirt in front of home plate. And actually hit Bellinger off the bound off of the grass and then went by him. So we'll call that one a 36-foot breaking ball. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. There's the 1-2, and that one will be high for ball 2. Bellinger in the game started things off good, had an RBI single back in the 1st, but since then has grounded out and popped up to go 1 for 3. Now the 2-2 is driven out to right field, and that one is a country mile gone, but way foul. As that one just missed a car out past the right field fence here at Dunfield. Bellinger, if he could straighten that pitch out a little bit, that would have been a mammoth home run out to right field. 325 down the left field and right field lines here at Dunfield. That one was probably about 350. Here's the 2-2 again. This one driven out to right field. Going back to right fielder. He's not going to be able to make the catch. It's off the wall. Bellinger is going to go for 2. As he's going to be in with a stand-up double off of the wall to lead off the 7th inning. As Bellinger got that inside pitch again from the right-hander, Sharp, and that time he waited a little bit longer on it. And the right fielder, Trotman, couldn't track it down to make the catch, and that'll bring in Joe Guarana. And as the catcher, Bingham, went out to have a chat with his pitcher, Sharp. As the pitcher, Sharp, checks the runner. Bellinger at second. Still looking at him, and he'll actually step off, and the runner, Bellinger, will go back. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Elmira with their 8th hit of the ball game. A runner in scoring position. And the pitch is going to be off the glove of Bingham, but Bellinger will hold. So for the Niagara Power, all 3 of their catchers have entered into the game as Trotman is actually out in right field. Crowley has already been subbed 4 by Hunter Bingham. Here as we work in the bottom of the 7th inning. The count 1-0 to the battered Joe Guarana, who's been on base once and scored. As this pitch is swung on, popped up high in the air. The sun being fended off by the second baseman. Savigny will make the catch. As that will be out number 1. As Guarana had been 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts to the second baseman. Now he pops up to him after he walked and scored in the 5th inning. Bellinger has to hold at second, and that'll bring in the catcher, Drew Fisher, for Elmira, who's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. As Fisher has single in the 5th inning. Pitch here from Sharp. And he's going to miss low for a ball. So just the second pitcher of the night for the Niagara Power. As Elmira already up to 6 pitchers. There's the 1-0, and actually a no-pitch from Sharp, as asking for time at home plate was Fisher. Home plate umpire granted it to him. So we'll try again here. The 1-0 pitch is going to miss low and inside for ball number 2. The shadows continuing to creep out here at Dunfield as the sun continues to set off to the right of the ballpark. And the shadow now almost out to the middle of the pitcher's mound. As the pitch comes home, that's another breaking ball inside. So the pitcher still initially, when the ball comes out of his hand, is in the sun and then goes in to the shadows as it approaches the batter. And then everything still from third base and the infield out to the outfield in the sun. And this one is going to be low for ball 4. So a good job by Fisher to work the 1-out walk and put runners on first and second for Elmira. That'll bring in the left fielder, John Armbrust. He's got an RBI to his credit this afternoon, a sac fly back in the 5th inning. That was able to score Guarana from third base. Armbrust has also reached on an E6 and scored and flew out to the left fielder, Mulhern. Sharp sets on the mound. And here comes the pitch, and that one's going to miss high for a ball. Elmira back to play in the PGCBL tomorrow, as the Pioneers will be on the road, as they'll be at Adirondack. Their first time taking on the Trailblazers this season, as they'll make the long trek up to Boonville, New York to take on their PGCBL Western Division rivals and the Trailblazers. As this pitch to Armbrust is going to miss outside for a ball. And the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Elmira will then have their first off day of the season on Tuesday, June 24th, a well-deserved off day. And then they'll be on the road at Watertown on the 25th before returning home against Utica on the 26th of June, which is a Thursday. So Elmira just one official off day in the PGCBL terms in the month of June, coming on the 24th. And then once they get to July, a couple of more off days, as they have 3 scheduled off days, but the first one doesn't come until July 16th. Runners lead off of first and second, a 3-0 count to John Armbrust. Here's the pitch from Sharp, and that's going to be a called strike. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And runners on first and second. Bellinger on second after the leadoff double. And now ball 4 to John Armbrust. It'll be back-to-back walks issued by Zach Sharp. And that'll bring in the number 8 batter, Taylor Ahern. And that'll load the bases up for Elmira. Ahern 1 for 3 on the afternoon. A single and 2 flyouts to the center fielder, Waters, as Ahern has struck the ball well here in his first batting appearances of the 2014 campaign for Elmira. Before today, I just saw Ahern as a pitcher, as he has made 2 starts for Elmira. As Ahern had a great experience at Siena College this past baseball season, as he helped Siena to clinch the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference title, as he was actually the pitcher of record in that game. A season in which Siena really made a Cinderella story to the College World Series, as Siena started the year 0-18 and was able to win their conference championship and then get the automatic bid into the NCAA tournament. So Ahern looks at a 1-0 count after the pitching coach, David Kaplan, came out to have a chat with his pitcher, Zach Sharp, as there is some action down in the Niagara bullpen, as a 1-0 will be inside here for ball 2, as it will be a right-hander warming up for the Power. See if I can try to get a number for you. But now the 2-0 to Taylor Ahern is going to be high for ball 3. So Zach Sharp now 1 pitch away from potentially walking in a run for Elmira, as they've got the bases loaded and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 7-3 lead. 7 runs on 8 hits in the ball game for Elmira. 3 runs on 3 hits in the ball game for the Niagara Power. Here's the 3-0, and that's going to be high for ball 4. And it's going to be a bases loaded walk and an RBI for Taylor Ahern. And Elmira will take an 8-3 lead with Derek DeLear stepping up to the plate. The 3rd straight walk issued by Zach Sharp. As Bellinger comes around to score. It's Niall Fisher on 3rd, Armbrust on 2nd, and Ahern on 1st. DeLear has 1 hit on the afternoon, as he is 1 for 2. Singled in the 4th. Was able to get to 3rd, but he was stranded there as he stole 3rd. He's also flown out to the right fielder and walked. As the first pitch is a called strike here to DeLear. Runners take their leads. Nobody being held on, and the pitch is swung at and missed by DeLear, as he actually made contact with it. As that pitch did get fouled back to the backstop. Looked like for a second the catcher, Bingham, had actually held onto the ball. But I believe it deflected off of his glove and headed towards the netting behind home plate. So the count will be 0-2, 1 out here in the inning. The pitch from Sharp is going to be high and inside, as DeLear had to give it the little lay to back out of the way. Sharp will check the runners, see where they're at. Now gets the sign from his catcher, Bingham, and delivers home. And that one's going to be swung on, popped up. A chance for the Power here to get it out. It's in foul territory and not able to make the catch. That was the first baseman, Hammond. As the sun might have made that one a little tougher than it looked. And then going into the shade that is being brought on by the Pioneers dugout. So a 1-2 pitch coming from Zach Sharp. 1 run in the inning here for Elmira in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch is swung out. That one's driven out to center. This could bring in a run. The catch is made by the center fielder. Here comes the runner home. And it's going to be a sac fly for Derek DeLear as Drew Fisher scores from 3rd, and it's now a 9-3 lead for Elmira as they get their 2nd run of the inning. And also moving up on the play was John Armbrust from second. So now runners on the corners for Elmira with two away as Ahern had to hold it first. So the second sacrifice fly of the game for Elmira, and the second time a sac fly out to the center fielder, Waters. Sharp will check the runner. Ahern at first, now with second open. The pitch to Kaluzian has popped up behind the plate. The catcher is not going to be able to make the catch as Bingham had to go off the edge of his glove, as looked like he had it scouted out well. And then at the last second, turned his glove to face out towards the ball, and it bounded off the heel of the glove. So the count will be 0-1. Kaluzian with 2 hits in the ball game. He's 2 for 3. 2 singles. Ahern leading off first. And the pitch is going to be fouled over into the Pioneers bullpen down the right field line. The count goes to 0-2. Armbrust on third base for Elmira. Ahern on first. Both reached via the walk. Ahern did pick up an RBI, though, as the bases were loaded when he got walked. Zach Sharp, the pitcher for the Power, after coming in for relief of the starter, Brian Baxter, who went the first 6 innings. As we work here in the bottom of the 7th, Ahern's off for second, and the pitch is going to be fouled off by Kaluzian. As Elmira sending the runner from first. They lead 9-3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Elmira with 2 runs in. 1 on the bases loaded walk and 1 on the sacrifice fly by Derek DeLear. Sharp looks home. Here's his pitch. That's going to be high for a ball, and taking second is going to be Ahern. And is holding at third was the runner Armbrust. And I count a ball and 2 strikes to Chris Kaluzian. The 7th batter of the inning for Elmira. The pitch is swung on, popped up high in the infield. Ranging back for the second baseman, but now the center fielder going to come in to make the catch as Waters came in out of nowhere. I thought that was going to be an easy play for the second baseman, Savigny. But that'll end the inning as Elmira strands 2 runners on base, but they tack on 2 more runs to their lead, as they will lead 9-3 heading to the top of the 8th inning here at Dunn Field. As Elmira will look to have another new pitcher, I do believe, as we'll take a break. As we'll come back for the top of the 8th inning here from Dunn Field. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as it actually will be the same pitcher for Elmira, as Matt Birch will break his string of just leaving a guy out there for one inning. Zach Biken gets the nod to come back out for a second inning as he'll face the left-handed hitting first baseman, A.J. Hammond. Hammond 1 for 2 in the game with a double, a walk, and a ground out, as this pitch will get past the catcher, Drew Fisher. So the count, 2 balls and no strikes to start off the 8th inning. Biken, the 6th pitcher of the afternoon for Elmira. Just the 2nd pitcher to go more than 1 inning, as the starter, Brendan DeOrio, went 2. And now a pitch here is going to be fouled out of play. Over past the Niagara Power dugout on the third base side. Elmira a 9-3 lead, 9 runs on 8 hits. As they added 2 more in the bottom of the 7th inning on a bases loaded walk and a sacrifice fly. And there's a breaking ball here from Biken. It's going to miss outside. The count 3-1. As it's the 5, 6, and 7 batters due up for the Power. And this pitch is going to miss outside, so it'll be a leadoff walk as Biken, I believe, left in to face the left-hander Hammond, but Hammond will draw his 2nd walk of the night. That'll bring in the third baseman, number 8, Tyler Marchenko. Pitch is outside of Marchenko, who is 0 for 2 on the night. A fly out to the right fielder, and then also laid down a sac bunt and has walked and stole a base. The lefty Biken looks at the runner Hammond, now delivers home. As this one missed low for a ball. The count 2-0. Elmira, nobody up yet warming in the bullpen, but they do have somebody stretching out. As the pitch here is going to be outside. And the count now 3-0 to the batter, Marchenko. And here's the 3-0. That's a fastball. It'll get over the plate for a called strike. I was looking on his third base coach, Marchenko, to get some signs here, probably to see whether he has the green light to go or not if the pitch looks good. And throwing over to first will be Biken. As the runner Hammond back safely. And a strike here on a 3-1 pitch as Marchenko wasn't swinging. So the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the 3-2. The runner's off. It's swung on. Settling under is Ahern at right. He'll try to make the throw back in, but he won't, as off for second was the base runner Hammond, but he quickly realized that ball was going to be caught. And decided he probably should run back to second. So that'll bring in the left fielder, number 5, John Mulhern. Mulhern 0 for 2 on the afternoon with a walk, a ground out, and a fly out. Here's the pitch from Biken, and that's a called strike as Mulhern looking to try and bunt. Biken now checks the runner. He has the runner picked off. Bellinger makes the throw to Lear short. And he actually couldn't make the tag. I believe he might have lost that in the sun and didn't believe that he had the ball at first, so it looked like Elmira would surely have the runner. Hammond picked off between first and second, but he is going to get in with the stolen base. As it'll put a runner on second now with one out. Pitch from Biken is going to miss high for a ball. It was a good pickoff move there from Biken, probably the best one we've seen from him. As he had the high leg kick, was able to stop it and make the throw to Bellinger at first. And it wasn't a bad throw at all from Bellinger. And the pitcher swung on a chopper to Delaire at short. Makes the throw across the diamond, and having to retreat back to second is Hammond. So now 2 outs in the inning. And that'll bring in the shortstop, Yeoman. Yeoman 0 for 2 on the afternoon. Struck out twice. The only time he reached base was when he got hit to lead off the 5th inning. Stole second, and then eventually came around to score on an RBI single by the center fielder, Waters. Pitch now from Biken as a bouncer in the dirt. Fisher keeps it in front of him. And a strike called here to even the count up to the batter, Yeoman. Biken checks the runner at second. Lead for Hammond. Now the 1-1 is swung on. And this one's going to be past Skirpon into center field. They're going to wave the runner Hammond around second, and he's going to come in to score on the RBI single for Austin Yeoman. And it's now a 9-4 game as Yeoman stops at first. On the 4th hit of the ball game for the Power. So that'll bring in the number 9 batter, Savigny. As the first pitch to him is outside for a ball. And here's a pitch swung on, up the middle, to Skirp his second, and he's able to step right on the bag as he caught that one just to the right of second base. And that will end the inning for the Power as they pick up a run on the RBI hit from Yeoman, but they won't do any further damage as Elmira takes their 9-4 lead into the bottom of the 8th inning. And a new pitcher on for the Niagara Power, and we'll get that to you when we come back. We'll take a break. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And we're back here for the bottom of the 8th inning at Dunfield, Elmira, New York, as a new pitcher on for the Niagara Power, as an 0-2 count quickly to Taylor Skirpon, as the new pitcher is number 30, Jack Moore, listed at 6 foot, 190 pounds, out of Colorado Christian University. Taylor Skirpon looks at an 0-2, and this one will be in the dirt. So the pitcher Moore, the third of the afternoon for the Power. And this one swung on. That's going to be a single through the left-hand side between the shortstop and the third baseman. So Taylor Skirpon kicks off the inning with a bang as he picks up his first hit of the night. And it's the 4th time that he's reached base. He's played well over these last 3 games for Elmira. Really like what I've seen from him. And that'll bring in Nick Walker. Walker, 1 for 3 on the afternoon with a walk. A 3 RBI double back in the second. Is also struck out and flew out to the left fielder. Pitch is swung at and missed here by Walker, as Moore starting out the at-bat with the off-speed pitch. And the pitch is in the dirt here. So the count now 2 balls and a strike. Runner Skirpon leads off first after the leadoff single. And the pitch home by Moore is swung on. This one's into center field, as that one got over the shortstop's head. Going for third is Skirpon, as he's going to be there easily as the throw is up the line. And tailing back into second is going to be Walker. So Walker with the single after Skirpon led it off with a single. Gives Elmira's runners on second and third with nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading Niagara 9-4. The second hit of the night for Walker. Elmira now with 10 hits in the ball game. And that'll bring in Zach Bellinger, Pioneers first baseman. 2 hits in the ball game for him, a single and a double. He's 2 for 4. His first pitch here will be outside for a ball. Runners take their lead to second and third. And here is the pitch, and it swung on and missed by Bellinger as that one was down in the dirt. Moore, the long look into his catcher, Bingham. Gets the signs. The righty throwing to the left-handed Bellinger. Takes a look at the runner at second. And now asking for time is going to be Bellinger. There's just too much going on there, as the pitcher, Moore, undecided whether he wanted to throw home or do something to second base with the runner Walker leading off. Now we'll try it again here. The pitch to Bellinger is going to be taken outside, as Bellinger able to hold up on the off-speed pitch. And the pitch here is in the dirt, as that one got under the legs of Bellinger, and he tried to do-si-do out of the way of it, and as the catcher Bingham trying to get around him, get the ball, but the Pioneer runners weren't going anywhere as it didn't get far enough past them. So count 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning for Elmira. They have runners on second and third and a 9-4 lead against the Niagara Power. Here's the pitch, and it's going to be swung at and fouled back. Bellinger just getting a piece of the breaking ball. So it was a leadoff single by Taylor Skirpon, and then he was fouled up by a single from Nick Walker, as Walker was able to head into second after the throw from the center fielder, Waiters, to third base, trying to get Skirpon. Here's the 2-2. That one's poked over into the right field hole past the second baseman. That's going to bring in 1. Here comes the second runner. And scoring is going to be Nick Walker. It's a 2 RBI single for Zach Bellinger. And Elmira takes an 11-4 lead with 2 runs here in the inning. And that'll bring in Joe Guarana. As another breaking ball, Bellinger got his way, and that time he was able to get the head of the bat out in front of the ball and just was able to hit it off the end of the bat and past the diving second baseman Savigny. As this one's inside, a little chin music to the batter Guarana. So it's now an 11-4 lead for Elmira. 4 runs over the last 2 innings here, as they now have 11 hits in the ball game. Bellinger leads off of first. That one swung on. A chopper to the first baseman. He goes to the shortstop. The cover at first is not in time, as Guarana is able to beat it out. So the first baseman, Hammond, fielded it, threw it to the shortstop, Yeoman, and then Yeoman had to wait a little bit for the pitcher, Moore, to cover the bag, and that was just enough to allow Guarana to reach and keep the inning alive, as he'll take his lead over at first. So 1 out in the inning now, gives Elmira a base runner, and the catcher, Drew Fisher, stepping in. And now a Chet out on the mound here, as the pitching coach, David Kaplan, coming back out. As Elmira an 11-4 lead. Drew Fisher at the plate. Fisher's been on base in his last 2 at-bats. Walked and scored a run in the 7th. Singled in the 5th inning before he was caught trying to steal third base. And now the pitching coach, David Kaplan, will head back to the dugout as his pitcher, Jack Moore, settles on the mound to start off the at-bat to Drew Fisher after allowing 2 runs here in this inning. Guarana lead off at first. The pitch to Fisher is going to be high for a ball. And here's the 1-0. That'll miss Sloan away. And here's the 2-0. That was a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Fisher was taking all the way. The defense for Niagara playing Fisher straight up here. And he has a good eye here at the breaking pitch that misses low and away for ball 3. 3-1 the count with the left fielder John Armbrust in the on-deck circle. And the pitch is swung at and just fouled off, as heading off for second was Guarana. Murray tried to hit and run. And this one's going to be fouled back. So count 3 balls, 2 strikes to the batter, Drew Fisher. And here's the pitch, and not able to frame it was the catcher, Bingham. So it'll be a 1-out walk taken by Fisher, his 2nd in a row. Good eyes at the plate for Fisher as he gets on. So runners at first and second, and that'll bring in the left fielder, John Armbrust, who reached on a walk his last time up, as he followed up Fisher with the walk. It was a string of 3 straight batters that was walked at the time by the pitcher Zach Sharp for the Niagara Power. Here's the first pitch, and that's outside for a ball to Armbrust. Ron, who reached on a fielder's choice, leads off second. Fisher at first, and his pitcher is outside for a ball. Nobody up down in the Niagara bullpen, so this is Moore's inning to try and work around as it stands right now. 2 runs are already in for Elmira on the 2 RBI single by Zach Bellinger. He was out at second on a ground ball hit by Goranda to the first baseman Hammond that he fielded to the shortstop Yeoman, as the Power tried to turn a double play but were unable to. And the count now 3-0 to the batter, Armbrust. 1 pitch away is Moore from loading the bases. Still no action down in the bullpen. And this one's going to be outside for ball 4. So back-to-back walks will load the bases for Elmira, just as they did in the 7th inning. Fisher and Armbrust walking back-to-back. And that will bring out the head coach, I do believe, for the Niagara Power, Josh Rebant, as he will actually take Moore out of the game. So I'm going to assume that the Power did have a pitcher warmed up in the bullpen down there to my left and just did not catch him throwing. And as we'll try to get a number on him, as it'll be the first pitching change in this ball game in the middle of an inning. As before this, all 3 pitchers, or I should say all 2 pitchers that Niagara had in the game had been able to complete their innings. And all 6 Elmira pitchers have also been able to do the same. So it'll be the 4th pitcher of the night for the Power. And it looks like it'll be number 36, Tyler Vondrasek. As Vondrasek, 6'3", 185 pounds, a right-hander out of Whitworth University. As he comes into a bases-loaded situation with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Elmira has an 11-4 lead, as they scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first, 4 in the 2nd inning, 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 7th, and have 2 in here in the 8th inning. As they have Joe Guarana standing on 3rd, Drew Fisher on 2nd, and John Armbrust on 1st, and a right-handed batter and Taylor Ahern awaiting to come up to the plate. As he's got a 1-for-3 night, also an RBI, as he was walked with the bases loaded in the 7th inning. And Ahern will step in as warmed up is Vondrasek for the Niagara Power. And here's the first pitch to Ahern, and that's going to be a called strike. And now the 0-1 is going to be taken low for a ball. Nice job by Ahern to hold up on the swing. So for the pitcher, Moore, he goes just a 1/3 of an inning as he gives up 2 runs, and all 3 runners here are his responsibility, as the count is 1-1 to Ahern. Here's the pitch, and that one's going to be low for a ball. And as the runners lead off base, A 2-1 pitch coming the way of Taylor Ahern. And this one swung on a chopper to second, and it was off of the glove of the second baseman, and he can't field the first. And Elmira will get a run on the error by the second baseman, Savigny. And that will bring up the number 9 batter, Derek DeLear, for the Pioneers. So Elmira now with a 12-4 lead as a runner came in to score on that fielding error by the second baseman, Savigny. DeLear now at the plate. He has an 0-1 count. And this one swung in off the glove of the first baseman. Savigny picks it up, is able to make the throw and get the out, but another run comes home to score. So a weird play that time, and is able to work out for the Power. Elmira had a play like that happen to them earlier in the game, and it favored the Niagara Power. That came in the 5th inning, in which Niagara was able to score twice in the top of the 5th inning, as it directed off of the foot of the pitcher, Austin Von Herbulis. So it'll bring in Chris Kaluzdian. So the 2 runs that have scored are charged to the pitcher, Jack Moore. And the runner on second, Ahern, is the responsibility of Andre Signow. Pitcher swung on a chopper to the shortstop, and the throw across the diamond is in time. Is fielding it is Yeoman, and that will end the inning as Elmira strands 2 runners on base. But they pick up 4 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning as we head to the top of the 9th. Elmira a 13-4 lead against the Niagara Power as we head to the top of the 9th inning, as the Pioneers look to try and close things out here on this Sunday afternoon. We'll take a break. You're listening to Pioneers Baseball on the Elmira Pioneers Broadcasting Network. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the technical difficulties there. As 0-2 the count now here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning as a chopper hit to Zach Bellinger at 30. He's able to get the grounder. The underhand flip to Alex Satterfield. And that's going to end the game as Alex Satterfield came in to close out the inning for Elmira and was able to work a 1-2-3 top half of the 9th inning. And Elmira picks up the 13-4 win against the Niagara Power, as it was a complete bullpen effort today in this one, as Elmira used 7 pitchers, but the most that anybody went was 2 innings, and that was the starter Brandon Oreo and Zach Biken. And the change was just to get some arms into the bullpen, as Elmira really wanted to use their bullpen and get some guys some innings that hadn't seen a lot of time throughout the season. And this game here, a crossover with the NYCBL, as the Niagara Power came into town today. So Elmira picks up the 13-4 win. As we'll give you some of the final stats here for the Pioneers, as really the big day, Nick Walker, as he had a 3 RBI double in the 2nd inning, as he finished the day 2 for 4 with a walk. Also on the day, Zach Bellinger had 3 RBIs, had an RBI single, and then had a 2 RBI single in the 8th inning, as he had a 3 for 5 day. Also had a double in the 7th inning, as it was an all-around effort for the Pioneers in picking up the win here today against the Power. As that'll do it for our game here today, as Elmira will be back to PGCBL play tomorrow, as the Pioneers will hit the road and travel to Boonville, New York, as they take on the Adirondack Trailblazers. And then they'll have off on Tuesday the 24th, and then they'll hit the road again on the 25th as they'll take on the Watertown Rams. Second time they've been to Watertown this year. And then they'll host Utica at home on Thursday the 26th, as it'll be Stitch's birthday party and also Value Home Center's night at Dunfield. And then the Pioneers will head back to Watertown on the 27th for their second time there in 3 days. And then they'll be back home for 2 in a row against Albany on Saturday the 28th, the first time the Dutchmen come into Dunfield. As that'll be Free Elmira Pioneers flags and also Jubilee Foods night. And then on Sunday the 29th, the Watertown Rams come in again for a 5:05 p.m. first pitch. So Elmira seeing Watertown 3 times in the span of 5 days, twice on the road and once here at Dunfield. As on the 29th, it'll be free party time cowbells. And then Elmira will have a doubleheader on the road at Adirondack to round out the month of June here in the PGCBL season in 2014. So Elmira picks up the 13-4 win, as they send their fans home happy here at Dunfield. As that'll do it for our broadcast. Thank you for listening in. Doug Page bringing you live play-by-play action of Elmira Pioneers baseball, as Elmira will be on the road tomorrow night against the Adirondack Trailblazers, and our broadcast will start right around 7 o'clock. His first pitch scheduled for 7:15 in Boonville, New York. We thank you for listening in, and have a great night here on Sunday, as the Pioneers will be back in play tomorrow night in Boonville. So long, and good night.